The Fender Deluxe Reverb is considered one of the greatest amplifiers of all time. I mean, what's not to love? You get the tons of great Fender cleans. It's small and compact. You get a full-size 12-inch speaker. You get reverb and tremolo, or vibrato, as Leo called it for some reason. What is not to love? It's considered absolutely one of the best of all time. Today I'm going to give you all the reasons that these are so good, and then I'm going to tell you why this particular model, the 68 Custom, it just ain't for me, man. Let's talk about all the reasons that a Deluxe Reverb is just an absolutely awesome amp. So, I mean, look at the size. They're small and compact. They're relatively light. I got this one because I got tired of carrying my 2x12 cabinet in my basement head everywhere. I wanted something that would be kind of this in-between for like small club gigs, and I could also play it at home. And so it's just a great size for that. You get a 12-inch speaker, so you get a lot of frequency response. And then the real star is it comes with reverb and tremolo, which is, you know, it's that classic thing that everybody's looking for in a Fender. You get just that great. You just get the great reverb. Plus you get vibrato, which is not what it is, it's tremolo, right? So you can get the you've heard on millions and millions of records for eternity, right? So what's not to love about these amps? Now I'm playing it on this Gretsch because I want to show you a few things about this particular model later, but it's the perfect size. You can also play them at home. I think I've got this one on, I've actually got this one on 3 right now. I'm in the custom channel. We'll talk about that in this amp in a second. So they're just great sized amps, especially if you kind of want to play cleaner. I think they take pedals pretty well too. You can play them at home a little bit louder, or you can take them on most gigs, especially anything you're going to play that this can't handle. A lot of times you're probably going to be mic'd, maybe. If not, and you got a heavy drummer, you're probably not necessarily playing one of these anyways, right? So it's a great amp. It's the greatest. Everybody should love them. So now, why do I not like this one? Why am I going to get rid of this one? Well, I'm glad you asked. Hey guys, cutting in here. I'm getting really close to 1,000 subscribers, so if you get a chance, hit one of the buttons below to like and subscribe, and I'd really appreciate it. Okay, back to the rambling. So my wife and I were on vacation last week, right? And like as we're kind of just sitting around, I started talking about this amp. I know I shouldn't on vacation, but whatever. It's fine. She's awesome. She's cool with it. It's better than some other hobbies, right? So I was talking about this amp and I was like, oh, maybe I'm going to put a speaker in it. I might do some mods. And she just kind of looked at me and was like, why would you do all that? Just why keep an amp you don't particularly like? Go find something else or use one of those other amps that you really, really love, like my Fender Princeton Tweed that I made a video about that I absolutely love. I've been using it more and more, and this guy has been collecting dust. So that's the thing. I got this amp a year and a half ago, been playing it. I like it fine, but I just don't think it's for me. I think I like the mid-range of the Tweed, but also there's some other things that are inherent to a Deluxe. So let's talk about the things that can be a problem that are just a Deluxe. So it's open back. So the bass can get a little flubby if I got this turned on. So like if I'm playing this Filtertron, you know, you start cranking it up. loud. The bass isn't always the tightest. You know, I'm used to my Bassman where the bass can be real tight. Now, I could change the speaker, but again, we start getting into that thing of, why are you doing that? Maybe if this was a vintage, an old silver panel, I would be interested in doing that. And honestly, that might be, spoiler alert, I might look for a more vintage one that stays clean. Because let's talk about the 68 Custom. Now, there are some problems with this amp, and probably also one of the reasons that I think I'm gonna get rid of it. It's got a really high noise floor, so I don't know if you guys can hear it. I might turn this microphone up so you can hear it, but if Now, if you're just clubbing or whatever, the noise, it's probably not a big deal, and most of the time it wouldn't bother me. Now, here's the thing. If I turn on the vibrato, there's a pulsing sound, which is kind of a bummer. I think that's another thing. I'm gonna be honest, I've been using this amp to record these YouTube videos and stuff, right? So if I'm recording, this makes way more of a difference than if you're just playing live. So if you're playing live like I was back in the day, you probably won't care. So that's one thing, is it's noisy. It's a noisy amp, fine. I will say, I think the custom channel is really cool. It does give you a little beefier, more Bassman-esque. It's not a Bassman. Go play a Bassman and you'll see the tightness and the extra wattage. Like if you want to get closer to a Bassman in a combo, go get a Pro Reverb or something maybe. So the nice thing is you get the reverb in both channels and the vibrato, which is cool. The vintage channel is really nice too. The thing about this amp is they messed around with the negative feedback, and if you've heard me talk about it before, that's kind of how Leo tried to control some of the headroom. And for a deluxe reverb, if I'm going to be playing this these days as an old man as I am, or one of my Telecasters, like I want more headroom. I'll get my overdrive from some pedals if we're being 100% honest. So the problem you get into is there's almost no headroom on this amp. So let's put it on 5, which is about where I would need it to gig, and it's just. So yeah, they reduced the headroom, which makes sense for people playing at home or even on a gig. Maybe you do want to overdrive one of these guys. Let's switch back over to the custom. Crank it up to 5. I get it if that's what you're looking for. Like I get it. If you're wanting to overdrive, like that totally makes sense if that's the style and stuff you're playing. But I'm to the point where I like some clean, like. You know, I'm just not getting any headroom with this thing. So, yeah, there's these things I just don't like, and so it's just nagging me a little bit. I keep looking at ways to customize it, but honestly, you know, after talking it over with someone who's not a gear person or likes to piddle and mess with these things, I realized maybe I just need to look for something else or be happy with some of the other amps I have. So if I'm not playing it and it doesn't bring you joy, as whatever that thing was on the internet everybody talked about for a while, your Zenness, get rid of it, man. Go get something else. Don't just hold on to something just because, you know, everybody else likes them. Now, I know these 68 Customs are very controversial isn't the right word. We're talking about guitar gear, right? But a lot of people like them, a lot of people don't. Turns out I'm one of the people who don't particularly like it. I like it. I would not be sad if I had to jam or tour with one of these maybe, but it's not my favorite. And since I'm a man of a older vintage now and I can kind of pick different things I want to use, maybe I'll go with a Vox or something else. I don't know, but I do know that this isn't the first amp I go pull. Like if I want a Fender sound, I'm pulling the Bassman, so, or I'm using the Tweed. So at this point, I think that's something we all got to think about. Like, don't just hold on to something and keep tweaking it. Don't just drop a bunch of money in a piece of gear you don't really like. If you don't like it, sell it or put it up for trade. You never know what will come your way, okay? All right, well, there's my rundown of a 68 Custom Deluxe Reverb. It wasn't really like a full-on sound demo. I'll pepper in some playing here and there, but if you want a full demo, there's thousands of them out there. But I just kind of wanted to give my opinion on this amp because I think I'm going to put it up for sale. I've really been thinking about it since I got back last week. Yeah, it's a cool amp. It's a great amp, don't get me wrong, but it's not the amp for me. So if you want the Deluxe Reverb, but you also want a little bit of a darker, grittier tone in the custom channel, and you want a little more overdrive, and you don't give a rat's you know what about the noise floor at the bottom or the ticking, there are mods you can do. People have them everywhere. Then these are a pretty good value. I see them going for sale for $800, you know, all day long. So take a look at them if that's what you want. And yeah, good luck in finding the gear that makes you happy. All right, thanks again, y'all. Hit the buttons, you know what to do if you wanna. Check out some of the other videos over here. And we're getting close to 1,000 subscribers. I think we're at like almost 850 now. So please like and subscribe if you haven't. It will really help me out. Really trying to get up to that sweet 1,000. It would be very cool. Never thought I'd do that. And yeah, take care of yourself, all right?